Some players might actually be aware of this issue, but it has to do with blocking in both PvE and PvP. Overall, just the blocking mechanic in general. What happens is around the 6th second or the 8th second, there'll be somewhat of a twitch on your character in which you'll be holding block with R1, or I think it's shift on the keyboard, and your finger will be on it, but after a certain amount of time, again, which is 6 or 8 seconds, the game just takes you out of block briefly. That makes you vulnerable to an attack or a control effect. So if you're holding block for too long, and it just so happens that either on the 6th second or the 8th second, there's an attack from a boss, and if you're going for something like a no dying feat or whatever, you're going to be vulnerable to that attack. You're not going to be blocking at that time, and chances are you might get knocked out. It's not 100% guarantee, but it's one of those things where if certain things are in place, then things are just not going to fall in your favor, and of course you're going to get eliminated. In regards to control effects, and more specifically in PvP, you can hold block and a player will cast any type of power. In this case it's gadgets, and I'm casting sticky bomb. I think I also cast gauss grenade or stasis field, and what will happen is that the player's holding block, which is Rokian, and he's not getting controlled, but you'll see in one of these clips that he does get controlled because of that twitch, because either on the 6th or 8th second the game takes him out of block. So then he'll obviously get controlled. Some players get confused and think that powers like sticky bomb or stasis field or whatever other powers and other power sets, they think that those powers take you out of block, and it's not that they take you out of block, it's that this whole you holding block for too long, 6th or 8th second, you're going to be brought out of block no matter what, and in which case you are going to get control. You're going to be vulnerable to either the control effect or the damage or both, and you see that now. Rokian Prime was just controlled because of that whole twitch thing. He was brought out of blocking. When you're brought out of blocking, you're vulnerable. So I figured I'd make this video just to bring attention to it. Whether it's intended or not, I don't know. I've noticed it in the past, but I just never went out of my way to test it like this. It wasn't until Roki and I were just talking about it that we were just like, well, let's just see what happens. I want to make a distinction. I'm not saying powers like EMP, that if somebody's blocking, you cast in and will block break them. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the control effect from the power taking you out of block. That's what I'm trying to clarify here. That it's not the control effect or the power that's taking you out of block. It's this whole 6 or 8 second marker on the blocking that just brings you out of block, and then you're vulnerable to the control effect or the damage.